My name is Alastair Blackburn. I'm a delegate at this conference from a little town in the northwest of England called Macclesfield, whose claim to fame is that it is the western end of the Silk Road. It's a city that was incorporated 800 years ago and is actually mentioned in one of our most famous old books, the Domesday Book. It was a ledger of all the towns and villages in the country, published in the year 1200.
Okay.
And it's mentioned there, and got its charter in the year 1261.
Okay.
But as regards its connection with the silk industry, it started the importing silk from China about 400 years ago. And in the early 19th century was considered to be the silk capital of Europe. 70 factories, 30,000 people. It was one of the most industrial and richest. So it has a long association that still lives today in the town. If you come to Macclesfield, and I hope you will one day, you will hear the football team are called the Silk Men. There is the Silk Road. There is the Silk Retail Business Park. This culture really lives in the town still today, and hence why I'm here as a rightful Silk Road city. I have to say it's been a wonderful start to something that has enormous potential. I think with the right leadership and the right focus, because there's almost too much that we could do here. That there's a danger perhaps of going in too many different directions, all with the best will and intentions, but that will dilute the effort. But that if we can focus behind a few good things, then I think it has tremendous opportunity, and I want to be a part of that. I'm married to a Chinese girl. I was married in Xi'an. I've always been interested in art, but since I married her, I guess my interest turned to Chinese art.
Yeah.
And over the last 20 years, I've become quite a collector of Chinese watercolors from the 19th century that were exported from China to the West as part of the China trade system at the time. Let me take you back, if I may, till the early 19th century. The big business at the time was tea. Tea would be taken from China and raced along a very dangerous route between China and the West. And they used to race from Guangzhou to London in order to land and dock the tea, be the first to arrive in London to create the highest profit and highest margin. And tea at that time was a very luxurious drink. So on those ships was 90% tea. But in order to create the maximum profit, they would also add decorative items, furniture, silver, porcelain, jade, and watercolors.
Oh, what's the colours?
Now these watercolors were done by Chinese artists, but in the Western style. But what was particularly interesting about these watercolors was the paper. Originally it came from, can you believe, the paper was imported from the West, painted on and then shipped back to the West. They did find a locally grown material, which is not a traditional paper, and the effect that has is that the paint of the watercolor sits on top of the paper rather than being absorbed completely into it. What that means is you create almost a three-dimensional watercolor, and they will then be displayed in the gallery in Macclesfield.